This is the Wally Show podcast with Wally, Gavin, and me, Betty Rock. You can always find us at wayfm.com/Wally or stream us live every weekday morning through the WayFM app.
The Wally Show podcast is brought to you by Colorado Christian University Online, where Wally teaches and where you can earn a degree online just like Betty Rock. You can learn more at ccu.edu/Wally. This podcast is also brought to you by United Faith Mortgage. Let their direct lender advantage save you time and money.
Uplifting WayFM.
If you're not careful, you might just learn something today.
Hi there. Is there a project you're working on? I know more than you. All right.
It's the Wally Show.
The youth of America have unconsciously started exhibiting a unique nervous tic, and it's using a British accent in awkward situations.
Righty.
Exactly. Yeah. So let me give you an example, because all these Gen Zers were giving examples of how they've seen this play out in their own lives. One Gen Zer said that she recently had to tell her boss that she was feeling burnt out. And without thinking, she nervously added at the end, "It's affecting me mental health, isn't it?"
Like that, okay, but she
can't do a good British accent, but that's what she said.
Gavin actually does a decent accent.
Oh, yeah. Is there a...
So if you
it's
said,
affecting my mental health.
It's affecting me mental health, isn't it?
I don't know about the me part there.
Yeah.
Let's see. It's affecting me.
You're good.
It's affecting me mental health. I'm doing Australian.
No, you're close enough. You're doing like South London.
Okay, so then I'm going to let you read this one next. So another Gen Zer said they also used it when having to confront someone, like when their roommate needed to take out the trash. The Gen Zer said,
"Oi, mate, no, that's still Australian.
You're doing fine.
Can you please take out the rubbish, eh?"
There you go. Yeah, it's more Liverpool now. I like it.
I like it. Well, psychologists were asked, why is this a new phenomenon? And they say what it comes down to is that it's a defense mechanism. So when we use an accent apart from our norm, it can make us feel like we are softening what we're trying to say to someone if it's harsh, or separating ourselves from the awkward situation, a.k.a. a defense mechanism.
I guess, too, if you make someone laugh because you do a British voice, especially if it's like a bad accent, then they're like, okay, I don't mind taking out the trash.
Right, and I could see where this would work. I've seen this in some of the friends that I have, actually, before I even read this article.
No.
I was like, I wonder why they do that.
Kelsey, right?
No, Kelsey just gives life. She just talks like that.
She Kardashians it.
She's my hero.
Yeah, so either a British accent or a Kardashian will get you out of any awkward situation.
I'm the dude. His dudeness, duder, El Duderino.
Uplifting WayFM, this is The Wally Show, and Gavin and I come from two very different generations, and from time to time, Betty Rock likes to see if we are truly different or are there things we align on.
Yeah.
Tale of two dudes.
I mean, typically in this segment, I like to bring up a topic that shows the opposite ways that you two would approach it. In the past, we've seen the different ways Gen Xers, that would be Wally, and Gen Zers, Gavin, approach mental health and even insurance for pets. And they could be, they're very separate. Recently, though, I found an article written about how the men in the younger generations, Gavin generation, are more open to adopting a skincare routine.
Oh, gosh.
Hey, okay.
Oh, no.
I will say this. Like,
what?
I remember when I was going through, like, the whole acne situation back in the day, and I had to use, like, Proactive and all of that.
That's different.
What's wrong with all of that?
No, that's fine. Like, when you're a teenage kid, like, trying to get rid of pimples, absolutely. But, like, if you're using your wife's lotion on your face or hands, what?
Wait a minute. I did not finish my
Sorry.
article.
Oh, okay.
Because you were quickly pointing
well,
too many
he said
fingers.
something dumb.
I said, wait.
that was dumb.
Gavin's Gen Zers, they are also more willing to use their wife's personal care items if they run out. But after reading through it, I've come to the fact that Wally and Gavin don't differ much in this category.
All right.
I think Gen Xers are just as viable of using their wife's, let's say, their deodorant Have you used your wife's deodorant? I know Gavin has because he's come in here smelling like cucumber melon. And
Yeah,
I'm
but like he did it on purpose. I did it where like I had no option. We were vacationing. I did not bring my ditty bag, and I smelled. We had been traveling, and I had to. And I was, you know what? It's strong enough for a man, but made for a woman, and I did that day.
Okay, what about her shampoos and conditioners?
Okay, I don't have my own. I don't have my own anymore because I use it so infrequently because my hair is so short.
Oh, that's your excuse?
I wash my hair every day with water, and then like once a week or so, I'll wash it with shampoo. Once a month or so, I'll wash it with shampoo. Yeah, because my hair is so short, it's barely there.
Gavin, do you use your wife's shampoo and conditioner?
I don't use it on like my on my head hair, but this morning I used her shampoo on my beard.
Oh, weird.
Because it's a little more floral, and so that's what I smell
it has
most
a
of the
floral
time.
note. I've never. I don't even know if I've washed my beard.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
It's healthy.
It's not a thing that I do.
What about body wash?
We use soap at home, so we use the same soap bar. But I mean, if she had a nice smelling body wash, I wouldn't resist it on the weekends.
My wife does only use shower gel, and like that's all she puts in the shower, so I don't have an option.
All I'm hearing are excuses.
But I do. I am a big fan of
excuses.
Bath and Body coconut lime.
Yes.
It's so good. It's so good.
Wow, I think we've learned a lot here. That in this category, Gen Xers and Gen Zers really don't differ.
Maybe we're not as different as I thought, Kevin.
I'm sorry.
I apologize for the dumb thing earlier. Uplifting Way FM, this is the Wally Show, and one of the things that's kind of a core value for us is connecting people to Jesus and serving others. And like we have this thing called our world's biggest small group that we do every year, and it's a chance for people to go deeper in their faith. And so like last week when we did Support Drive, if you supported the ministry of Way FM, you were part of supporting things like this and making sure that people are staying in their faith. And thank you so much too, by the way, because we ended up at 100% of the goal, which that doesn't happen all the time. And usually, you know, the next week after we're like, hey, if you could still help out, that'd be great. And this week we're like, killed it. You guys are amazing. So thank you. But this is a really different world's biggest small group, but I think it's really important. It's mom to mom. It's a world's biggest small group for moms because, you know, and I can't speak to this completely because I will never understand the mom mind, but I know anecdotally from watching my wife feel less than confident about, you know, her choices inside of her parenting style and, you know, and how she balances her faith with her parenting and all of that stuff. And so that's why in this world that can be challenging to navigate for moms, we thought it was important to do a world's biggest small group. And it's written by a mom, you know, for other moms. And this lady works here at Way FM, and she's, you know, like passionate about this.
And I think, too, it's very important to build that community of where you feel like moms are encouraging one another, because it can feel like we're always... Well, I say we. I'm not a mom. I'm a cat mom. Yeah. But it does.
My fur baby.
But I do have close friends that are moms, and so it feels like most of the time they're harder critics.
Yeah.
You know, and like they feel like there's this voice in the back of their head that's saying you're not doing enough. You're not doing enough. But I think when all the moms come together and encourage one another, man, that speaks life into people.
Yeah. So it's a chance to take, you know, some practical stuff and some faith stuff and combine them together. It's our mom to mom world's biggest small group. If you want to get involved with it, just text the word MOM, M-O-M, to 91979, and we will gladly send you a link. And again, thank you for last week and making Support Drive 100% a success. Uplifting Way FM, this is the Wally Show. We're going to do a little Time Capsule Tuesday, and this is where we play a song from each of us that we pick from a certain year, and you get to tell us which song you want to hear. Maybe you like Gavin's taste in music, Betty's or mine. So, Betty Rock, what year did we pick to go back to?
Well, we picked 2009.
Oh.
So, I mean, I think Gavin was still in high school?
Yeah, 14. I had just started.
Formative music years at 14.
Good times.
So, I'm really interested. So, let's start with you, Gavin. What did you pick?
Okay, I went with Johnny Diaz. Or Diaz?
Diaz.
I thought it was Diaz.
It is
and
Diaz.
His song, More Beautiful You.
I remember that song.
2009 2009 was not a bad year for Christian music. There were a million Chris Tomlin songs out, I mean, seriously, and a lot of great music. Lady Rock, what about you?
Man, I went with a classic. Britt Nicole, The Lost Get Found.
On the show that I started here was called Total Access, and we used to just interview artists all the time. It was at night, and she held the record for the most appearances on Total Access because she was so fun and so like, oh yeah, sure, I'll come do anything you want. She was amazing. I loved her, and I used to call her the incredible Britt Nicole, and people thought her name was Britna. They thought her name was Britna Cole. Yeah, she's great. These are great so far. I went a smidge more rock worship here. This is Fee, the band Fee.
This doesn't sound like 2009. This sounds like 1999.
No!
Yeah, it does.
This is one that was really a bummer because I'm like, this guy's going to be the next Tomlin. He was exploding and just doing so well. And then there was like a moral failure. And the thing that I was really proud about, though, is when that happened, they had another song that we were playing at the time. And a lot of Christian radio stations dropped them. And we didn't, and I love that because the song is bigger than the person. And what was true 5 minutes ago before their moral failure is still true, you know? And I was really happy that we didn't cave to the, Christian society pressures because the song was valid, and stuff. And so there you go. Those are your three choices today. Which are you going to choose for Time Capsule Tuesday? 855-33-WAY-FM. That's 855-33-WAY-FM. Uplifting Way FM, this is The Wally Show. Lauren, welcome to Time Capsule Tuesday. Now, you've heard the three songs that Betty, Gavin, and myself put up for your consideration. Which of these songs do you want to hear and why?
So I think I'm going to have to go with Britt Nicole.
Yeah.
During that time in my life, I was going to college, and so I just remember, during the 2009 era, we had CDs, and I just remember driving home from college, popping that CD in my car and just listening to her. She was great.
Yeah, I was always a big fan of Britt Nicole. She was on our show a lot. I always did enjoy her.
I think she's still putting out music.
Yeah.
But she's a mom, and I think a mom of 3. So
I liked her, and then I got into Francesca Battistelli, and she's having kids and all that now as well. So it's cool to see, how the transition is through the years.
Funny story. Those two girls are linked to the show. I had Britt Nicole do a parody song about Francesca Battistelli getting married so young as a joke.
Oh, no way.
And Britt did a great job with it, but it offended Francesca. And so then it turned into this whole thing where Britt didn't want to offend Francesca, but the important moral of the story is I was still the bad guy, and so like everyone was mad at me, even
and rightfully so.
No, not rightfully so. It was funny and it was not a big deal, but apparently I still had to apologize. So anyway, that was a fun trip back to 2009. Here we go. It's Britt Nicole, The Lost Get Found. Lauren, thank you for helping us out today.
Thank you so much. Have a good one.
There you go. Britt Nicole. The Lost Get Found. That was our song selection for Time Capsule Tuesday. I did find the Francesca parody song that I was talking about that started a whole beef.
I don't think I've heard this before.
I know, this is before your time. Everyone has grown up since then, so everyone should be chilled out. I want to listen to it again. I haven't listened to it in 15 years, or 10 years, whatever it was. And so I want to listen to it now and see if I still think it's as funny as I did back then.
This is so you.
Okay, so this was a parody song that I asked Britt Nicole to do about Francesca Battistelli getting married young. Okay, so here it is, and this was the horrible tragedy that came from it.
Okay. All right, here we go.
20 years of age, I was looking for a man close to my own age, someone to take my hand and walk me down the aisle and make me so happy. But this I couldn't see. Now he wants me to make him some dinner, wants me to iron his jeans. He even said that I could be thinner, maybe work out while I sweep or sweep. And now he's talking about babies. This isn't at all what I dreamed.
Oh no.
He wants me to clean. He wants me to clean. I'm free to cook and clean.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
Did you write that?
100% stand by that.
Oh my goodness.
Because it was a commentary on like how when you get married young, everybody has different perceptions of what that marriage is going to be like. And it's just totally a joke about that.
I can see why somebody would be a little bit, hurt by that, though.
I'm sorry. That I stand by that one. That one was well written and performed impeccably by Miss Britt Nicole. In my family, we kind of have a motto, and it's finish strong. And I wanted to instill the idea in my daughter from a young age that it's easy to start something, but it's harder to see it through to the end.
But when you do, it feels so good. I started and finished 2 degrees at Colorado Christian University, and I'm so glad I did.
So why not start your degree in 2023 so you can do more in 2024?
Some of CCU's degrees can be completed in a little over a year. Like in the healthcare industry, you can finish your RN to BSN online nursing program with 9 courses in as little as 14 months without changing your work schedule.
Plus, if you started somewhere else and have not finished yet, make this your year to get it done. CCU has a generous policy for transferring credits from other colleges. In fact, you can even get a scholarship for transferring credits.
So don't put it off another day, because when 2024 rolls around, you could be finishing up a degree or wishing you had started in 2023.
Colorado Christian University is a nonprofit impact partner committed to cultivating the mind without compromising the heart.
Uplifting Way FM.
If you're not careful, you might just learn something today.
Hi there. Is there a project you're working on? I know more than you. All right.
It's The Wally Show.
So have you ever wondered why Hobby Lobby doesn't use any barcodes on their products? There's been speculation for years that it's because Hobby Lobby is a Christian company and they do not use barcodes for fear of it being associated with the mark of the beast from Revelation and how in end times you cannot buy or sell anything unless you have the mark.
Wow, that escalated quickly.
Yeah, that's been a conspiracy theory about it. I literally just saw this on TikTok the other day. Somebody doing it as reported as fact. They're like, and this is why they don't do this. And you're like, okay, this is why you can't believe everything that you see on TikTok. The idea of the mark of the beast being barcodes has been around since like the 1970s. And the guy who created the modern UPC, he said it's ludicrous. This has no connection to the Bible whatsoever. It was just science to make something easier, you know. But Hobby Lobby founder David Green wrote in his book, More Than a Hobby, that opting against barcodes and scanners at the register, the reason they do that is it puts people first. And you're like, okay, how does that do that? He wants employees to think that the company values them over computers and just being an automaton drone, squeak, like, because they literally have to type in like everything you buy.
That's true.
There.
I never really even I shop at Hobby Lobby, but I've never even noticed. Maybe this is a concern for me, but I've never even noticed that they don't use barcodes.
Really? Oh, I've noticed it because the lines are so long. He believes that employees will have a better understanding too of what the store has in stock if they're manually entering things in. They know that, and so that's the reason it's not this nefarious or religious craziness of
Good to know.
fearing the mark of the beast. I've always thought it made checking out a little slower, but I will say this, you do get more time to converse with the person that's checking you out, although I'm sure they probably, every conversation is, why don't you guys get a scanner, but anyway, so there you go. If you were wondering if Hobby Lobby is scared of the end times because they don't use barcodes, the answer is no. Probably no. Uplifting Way FM, this is the Wally Show, and if you've ever traveled or flown and lost a bag, you know how frustrating that can be. Like, I did a 9-day cruise with no bag, so I had one outfit, and it was a pain. But I didn't let it dampen my spirits, but it was definitely annoying.
Ugh.
Well, there's a guy that American Airlines lost his luggage, and you think, okay, it's a pain, but it's not the end of the world. Unless you're this guy. He had a prosthetic leg in that bag.
Oh, no.
And that prosthetic leg was worth $26,000.
Woo!
And they are offering to reimburse him $600.
No!
That's
Come
not
on,
gonna cover
guys.
He's doing better than I did. Like, I got $200 back for mine, and that was it. Like, it was like, what in the world?
Really?
I always hear people getting these big sums of money back. I know Delta made me jump through so many hoops and take 3 months to get nothing back of what I lost, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But this guy did better than me, but he also lost way more than me. $26,000. Why do you check the prosthetic leg, though, man? I'd carry that on.
Yeah, well, why wasn't he wearing it?
Well, I think he has two.
Oh.
The backup.
That's his dancing leg. And he's like, okay, I'm just going to pack
makes
that.
sense.
It'll be safe. But I'm you know what? I'm carrying a prosthetic leg on for 2 reasons. 1, to protect it, and 2, what a great conversation piece. As you walk in and you're putting that in the overhead bin, like, someone's going to talk to you.
That's true.
So here's what I am curious about, though, for you. It doesn't have to be on an airline, but just in general, what is the most expensive thing you've lost? Did you lose that? I will, from time to time, look down at my wife's hand and see if her wedding ring is still there, because she has a very expensive diamond. Please don't rob my wife. From her mom. It's not from me. It's from her mom that was passed down to her.
Makes it any better.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, I couldn't afford it, you know? And so, like, I will from time to time look to make sure it hasn't disappeared, because that would be devastating for her to lose, financially and emotionally.
Sounds very stressful.
Yeah, so, okay, what is the most expensive thing you have ever lost? I am just curious if you could beat that $26,000, or is it expensive to you? 855-33-WAY-FM. We love having you on the show with us. 855-33-WAY-FM. So what is the most expensive thing, Jenny, you've ever lost?
I had 2 American Girls, Pleasant Company brand before the Mattel brand, and they now are at least $400 to $500.
Are they really?
Yeah, and one's retired, and one is, I believe, retired again.
So where are they?
I lost them in a house fire.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then I had a rare Juliette Gordon porcelain doll that I lost in that same fire, and you can't find those for less than $200.
Can I ask you a question, Jenny? And please don't take this the wrong way. Well, it's going to come out wrong.
Yeah, when you start it like that.
I know. Did you have a creepy doll room?
No, I did not, actually.
Okay.
I had those 3 dolls.
Okay.
Thankfully, my parents replaced one of my dolls a couple years down the road, and a best friend gave me her doll that was the same as mine.
That's good, because I always see people like on YouTube or TikTok, and they have like a room with all these dolls, and they're just dead eyes staring at you, and it creeps me out a little bit. So I'm really glad that was not your story.
No. The American Girl dolls, their eyes closed.
Yeah, still doesn't help. Well, Jenny, thanks for being on the show with us today. We appreciate you.
Thank you. We
Bye.
appreciate you guys, too.
So what is the most expensive thing, though, Lauren, you've ever lost?
I lost my wedding ring.
Oh, that's a bummer.
Yeah, it was my wedding ring and the engagement ring combined.
Ooh, so...
We just used it, yeah.
So there is no record of your marriage anywhere.
Actually, I am currently wearing the sapphire, the white sapphire that we got as a dummy ring.
Well, what would you say was the overall worth of the 2 rings combined?
About $4,000 or $5,000.
Ouch, that hurt.
And you have no idea where they are. Like, you don't even have a guess.
It's somewhere in Florida.
Oh, well, that narrows it down. Okay, look, here, I'm going to do you a solid, Lauren. We are on in Florida. So if you're in Florida and you find a ring somewhere and an engagement ring, that is Lauren's, and she would appreciate it back, okay? You can call me at the station, and we will try to get a hold of her.
That'd be great.
Was your husband upset, or was he like, that's okay, I can just work for another 2 months' salary? I mean, these things grow on trees.
He knows me so well that he was just like, I'm not really surprised.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, that's good.
I am notorious for losing things.
Side note, while we're just spitballing ideas here, you didn't lose this on purpose to get an upgraded ring, did you?
Lauren!
No, I did not lose it to get an upgrade. I'm pretty sure my children got a hold of it.
Well, Lauren, we appreciate you being on the show with us today. It's always a lot of fun. Sorry about your ring. That is a bummer.
Thank you guys so much. You guys have a wonderful day.
So what is the most expensive thing, Barbie, you've ever lost?
Well, when I was younger, I used to collect Beanie Babies.
Oh,
and
yeah.
recently we were cleaning out our garage, and I found some of the ones that I stayed with. I had a bunch, and I kept a few. One of the ones that I kept was the Princess Diana one that they made after she had passed, and we couldn't find it in the attic. We were cleaning everything out. It could have been that we threw it out or I lost it through moving. And a couple weeks ago, I saw on eBay it was selling for $200,000.
Oh, wow. Yeah, Beanie Babies were one of those things. People collected, and a lot of people were like, yeah, this collection's going to be worth so much money one day. And most of them were not worth the fabric they were made with. But a few of them, like that one, held their value. That's crazy.
Yeah, we were pretty upset. And, of course, we went frantic looking everywhere for it. But I think it either got thrown away when we were cleaning or moving.
They did like $20,000 of damage to their home, like going through walls and stuff trying to find the bear.
That's insane.
I almost did.
Uplifting Way FM.
News can be a little heavy, so we like to do news-ish. Here's Gavin.
A wedding is by far one of the greatest, or well, it should be one of the greatest days in a couple's lives. I know that they are beautiful, but they do come with their stressors. I do know that.
I loved my wedding day.
Yeah,
like
me too.
it was fun. I didn't stress out about things. Did we have things go wrong? Sure, but it was really nothing was a big deal that day. And,
Sure.
I think that's the way to handle it.
And that's not the case for everyone.
Yeah.
And I will say that sometimes a wedding can be very fun for guests. I personally have never been to a destination wedding. I know that not every couple has the financial ability to do that, but I think if you can, and if you have the money to pay for yourself to get there, it seems like it can be a ton of fun.
I did not want to go to a guy I worked with in radio, his wedding. It was going to be in the Bahamas, and I just didn't want to go. I'm like, a destination wedding? Come on, man.
It's a lot of planning.
It was, and I ended up going and loved it.
Okay.
Like, I went shark diving without a suit or a cage. It was amazing. It's one of the best experiences of my life. Oh, and there was a wedding.
Okay. Well, if you're in the market for a destination wedding, then boy, do I have a recommendation for you. Apparently, weddings in space are going to be a thing soon. There's a high-altitude balloon company called Space Perspective that's doing a wedding package centered around going up to about 10,000, a certain amount of feet.
It's not 10,000.
No,
commercial jet airlines.
No, my bad. 100,000. I left out
go.
a zero. So for the first 2 hours, you slowly ascend to 100,000 feet, so the edge of space, but you don't actually become weightless, which I think is sort of a bummer. Like if you're going to sell it as space, I wish you could get a little bit weightless.
Yeah, to do your vows floating around would be kind of cool.
Unless you lose the ring, then you're in some trouble.
Or you could do that thing where you just float it over and it goes right on their finger. Like I would renew my vows for that.
Okay, but because it's space, you have to assume that this is going to be insanely expensive. So it's actually a small wedding, since the capsule that goes up into space only seats 8 people plus the pilot. So it's not cheap. It's $125,000 per guest.
Oh, no.
So if you book all 8 seats, it's going to be $1 million. And this whole experience is two hours up, 2 hours there, 2 hours down. So 6 hours is not... That's
too long.
That's a normal wedding,
But that's too long to be stuck in a capsule with somebody, and I don't think the restroom facilities are going to be the best there.
I didn't even think about that.
Oh, and you got one of those 8 people has to be a DJ, so you can only bring 7 people and a DJ. Because
photographer.
And you have to bring a parent. There has to be a mother-in-law. There has to be a mother. And,
there's so many reasons to not do this.
Yeah,
it would be cool, but
I assume that people are going to clamor to be some of the first people to get married in space, and there are people out there who can throw $1 million at this situation. But for me, just a nice venue, all the people in the world you can invite, which means more wedding gifts. I don't know. Sounds better to me.
Yeah, there you go. Well, there are people with more money than sense, and I guarantee you they'll be sold out and booked all the time for sure. Can you imagine having a bridezilla being trapped in a balloon with her? of 2 hours up, 2 hours there, 2 hours down.
You're like, you know what? Let's reverse this.
Yeah,
I'm
you know
not
what?
doing
If
it.
I had a BB gun, I would shoot this balloon down right now.
Working for a living, living and working. I'm taking what they're giving because I'm working for a living.
Uplifting Way FM. This is the Wally Show, and we are going to do a little day job game here. This is where you will try to guess the profession of a famous actor or famous person before they became famous, because we all have to start somewhere, and we all have different jobs. So we'll do one in the room and see who is better at this, because maybe they can help you. Well, we'll see.
Probably.
Actress Jennifer Aniston.
Oh.
Okay. Now, did Jennifer Aniston spend time as a telemarketer, a model, a massage therapist, or a cleaner? What do you think?
Oh, man.
I think the model is too obvious.
Too down the middle.
But
Yeah.
is it
easy.
really?
I mean,
I don't see her doing a hard day's work. Ever.
That's terrible.
Could telemarketer be a thing?
Yeah, because it may have been a way that she learned like good communication, good verbal skills.
And I think she started young, and so I think with the massage therapist, you have to have some kind of like piece of paperwork or something.
Something at some degree. But like if you're hiring her as Jennifer Aniston, even a young Jennifer Aniston, are you going to put her on the phones?
Look, he's trying to talk us into.
I know.
I'm just
he's
giving you
trying
perspective.
to lead us down the wrong path.
I'm giving you perspective.
So-
I tried to help you, because sometimes like modeling is a job that you could do, and it's not like, it's more glamorous than.
Okay, stop talking.
Okay.
I'm going to go with telemarketer. What do you think?
I'm going to go with model.
All right. Well, the way we do the show is if you can't agree, if you don't come to the same consensus,
Wait.
Oh, were we supposed to?
man always wins.
That's right. That's a terrible rule.
Gavin, you're wrong.
Okay.
I'm right.
Yeah,
I
telemarketer.
knew it.
You know
Yeah.
what? That
Dummy.
makes sense.
Dummy. So you might want to have Betty help you and you're around here. Maybe listen to her, because she seems locked in today. So 855-33-WAY-FM. I'm still laughing at dummy. 855-33-WAY-FM. If you want to play our day job game, we'll let you pick between two celebrities of who you want to attempt to guess what their job was before they became famous. 855-33-WAY-FM.
Working for a living, living and working. I'm taking what they're giving because I'm working for a living.
Uplifting Way FM. This is the Wally Show. Kat, welcome to our day job game. You have a chance to win a prize here, and maybe Betty Rock will be useful to you, because she got her question right in her round. So what we're going to do is we're going to give you two celebrities. You pick which one you want to attempt to guess what their job was before they became famous. So I have before me Gwen Stefani, formerly of the band No Doubt, and actor James Franco. Who do you want to try to guess their job?
Let's go with Gwen Stefani.
Gwen Stefani, now with Blake Shelton from The Voice. So here we go. Before she became Gwen Stefani of No Doubt, was Gwen a amateur choreographer, an ice cream vendor, a hairdresser, or a nail tech?
Ooh.
What do you think? All of these are very viable for her.
Ooh.
Kat, my gut says the dance instructor. That's my gut, but I don't know. My gut's not always right. Sometimes it's led away by Chick-fil-A.
Okay, so dance. I'm kind of leaning towards nail technician, but I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna go with you, and I'm gonna say the dance instructor.
She does have fabulous nails. I will tell you
She
that.
does.
Yeah.
She does.
So fabulous nails was not right.
Okay.
So that's good that you
Yay.
went away from that. I will give you one chance to leave Betty Rock right now. You can either stick with choreographer or amateur choreographer, or you can switch for ice cream vendor or hairdresser. Your choice. Do you believe that much in Betty and you want to take a shot at leaving her, or are you going to stick with her?
Leave me, Kat. Go with the ice cream vendor.
Okay, I was gonna say I'm kind of leaning towards the ice cream vendor at this point, especially since you're giving me a second chance. So let's go with ice cream vendor.
Why would you leave choreographer? That's what she does for ice cream vendor. That seems really random.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe she just really likes ice cream.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. It paid off. She was an ice cream vendor. She actually worked at the Dairy Queen, the king of ice cream.
I wonder if she did the thing where she turns it upside down
The
to
blizzards.
see if it like
Or the
falls
concrete.
out or
I used to
not.
work at Dairy Queen. That's
You
cool.
used to work at Dairy Queen too?
Yeah.
Get out
Yeah.
of here. Well, you and Gwen Stefani have so much in common now. you can share that little nugget at a party, too. You'd be like, hey, you know what Gwen Stefani and I have in common? Besides our ravishing good looks, we worked at Dairy Queen.
Amen. That's right.
Well, Kat, congratulations. You are the big winner today. We appreciate you playing a little bit of Day Job with us here on The Wally Show.
Thank you so much.
Uplifting Way FM, this is The Wally Show. And one of the things you may not know about this ministry is that we send out free Bibles to people. You go to wayfm.com, you say, hey, I want a free Bible. You're getting one because it's part of our mission to connect people to Jesus, for the first time or reconnect them with their faith. And we just came off of Support Drive last week, and I have to tell you, it was huge. We ended at 100%. People showed up and were crazy generous. And this is just one of the things that when you invest in this ministry, you can take pride in and take part in, knowing that your, gift is going to put the Word of God into people's hands, which is really, really cool. And Pastor Chad, that's one of his jobs. You're actually going to Dallas to do a Bible mailing here, I think today, right?
Yep, we have a Bible mailing tonight where we'll mail out 400 Bibles out of Dallas. And let me just tell you, one of the stories that just came in from that mailing just last week was someone who wrote just a simple phrase and said, I need Jesus really bad. And you find it seems like a little bit of desperation in that, but also realizing like you're going to the right place.
Right.
You're going right to the scripture. You're going right to the word. And so we're so incredibly happy to be able to put that in that person's hand.
And the good news is, too, they're getting the Way FM Bible. Not that it has Way FM on it, but that it basically has a whole front section of questions that addresses life stuff and where to find the answers in the Bible. Because the Bible can be a little tricky sometimes to navigate if you don't have the right one or just on your own. And so I love this Bible, and it's a great thing. And again, it's just part of your donation and your gift in action.
I love it because we have made sure that we could send you any old Bible and it could be a cheap thing, but we really invested in not only getting you the New Living Translation, which is a great translation to learn the scripture from, but also, like Wally said, a great Bible that has all these helps. It's called the Help Finder Bible.
Yeah, and so maybe you don't even need a Bible, but you want to tell somebody about it, or maybe this connects with you and you're like, I'm passionate about the Word of God, and you've never supported the ministry of Way FM. You jumping in and doing that will actually continue that ministry going. So if you want a Bible, this is really cool. All you have to do is text the word Bible to 91979, and we will make sure you get one. Uplifting Way FM. This is The Wally Show. The Scoop is where we try to make your life a little bit better. And Betty Rock is one of the scoopiest of the scoopers. And she comes up with things that I'm like, all right, people actually try them. And most of the time, I have great success.
Well, this scoop, it's so obvious that you're like, why didn't I think of this?
Okay.
So this is a scoop on how to get your kid away from their pacifier.
Oh, okay.
So if you've been a parent of a kid with a pacifier, you know how addicted they are to that thing. And trying to break them from it is a fight to the
I have
finish.
a theory, and I want to make sure I don't unscoop you, okay? So I'm going to write my theory down.
Why do you even have to have a theory? Just
this
let
is
me
hers.
do it.
No,
Just
I have,
let me have
I have
this.
a theory, and
You can't
I'm
just
writing
let
it down.
anyone just have a moment.
It's not how we
Can
do
you?
this.
I know. Go ahead. What is it?
So anyways, it's the most obvious thing you need to do is you need to dip their pacifier
In what?
in something nasty. You wrote down Tabasco. It could be Tabasco sauce, but it could be something that's just like,
So
you
you
know
create-
they're not going to like it. And you still give them the pacifier, but when they put it in their mouth, they're going to be like, "Ugh."
Yeah.
Create like a negative association.
Exactly.
Right. And then they
exactly.
won't want it anymore.
That's very scientific. Because losing a passy when that is what calms your kid down is one of the worst days of your life.
Right, but if they are making the decision not to have the pacifier, then it might be easier to get them to kick it.
I found too setting goals, like with my daughter when she was old enough, like when she was turning 3, we were moving from California to Florida, and we said, okay, when we get to Florida, 2 things are going to happen. You're going to sleep in a big girl bed, no more crib thing, and you're getting potty trained. Like, so she was just before 3, and it was and we did it all in a week, and it knocked it out.
Did she handle that well?
Yeah, she did all right. I mean, she didn't have a choice. Like,
True.
It's the same thing. Like, just put the pacifier in a thing. You didn't have a choice,
Yeah.
So there you go. That's a good mom tip there. Is there anything with your cat Beans that he loves that you would have to do a negative association with him? Does he go crazy over
He
certain
doesn't
things?
have any negative qualities,
Yeah.
you know, like some human babies do. But my precious little Buford being,
Your fur baby.
He's nothing is bad about
You're such
him.
a good mom. You're such a good mom.
I'll never forget taking my first compassion trip, and we went to Ghana, Africa. When we got there to the site, there was this little girl. She was 6 years old. I later found out her name was Vivian, and she would not let go of my hand. She followed me everywhere I went on that site. And later, I got to meet her family. I met her mother and her siblings, and they all lived in this little mud hut. I mean, it wasn't big at all. And when I looked at Vivian, she had the biggest smile on her face, and she was just happy to be there, just happy to be with us. And it made such an impact in my life that I wanted to sponsor her right then and there. Because of my sponsorship for Vivian through Compassion, I'm able to write letters back and forth with her. I'm now getting updated photos, and now I think she's even taller than me, which is crazy to think. But I'm also able to see how my sponsorship is providing the food, clean water, and other support that she needs and her family needs to live the best life possible. And I can only imagine now with the pandemic, war, and weather disasters, there are so many other families like Vivian's who are dealing with hunger. So maybe you want to make an impact and sponsor your own Vivian. Just click the Compassion banner when you go to wayfm.com.
Uplifting Way FM. If it's trending, streaming, or starring, Betty Rock's got it. On the Rock Report. Hey, Betty.
Taylor Swift has been making her cross-country rounds in her new Eras tour. I know Gavin was eager to get in.
I didn't get in time for the tickets, but
You tried to buy tickets?
No, I did not.
Oh, okay.
I did consider, because here, where she did her concert here in Nashville,
Yeah.
you could go to a bridge near
Yeah.
where she performed to hear it.
And I saw
considered
videos
it.
from that, and it sounded great.
I
I was
know.
so surprised. I would have
You'd have
respected
joined me?
that. No,
Oh.
I would not have joined you. But I would have respected you doing that, like take your wife or something. If you went by yourself, no respect. if you take your wife, I respect that. And then and also to saving the thousands of dollars that it paid for,
Yeah.
like people paid to go see her.
Yeah, and while videos of fans singing and having a good time are the typical norm for the social media post, one Swiftie fan's video from his night at the concert is going viral thanks to his aunt, who he brought along to the show.
That's so sweet.
It is. It's very sweet. The 62-year-old aunt's name is Maureen Gregory, and she got a lot of looks from the people around her in the stands. When she showed up with her nephew, she popped out an 81-page document of typed-out Taylor Swift song lyrics and an overhead reading light.
Nice.
The woman proceeded to read along to every song Taylor
good.
Swift performed. And then her nephew posted this video of his aunt right beside him, and she's like reading along and singing along
That's
to these
awesome.
songs. And when they asked her, why did she do it? Maureen said simply, I just love the lyrics.
Yeah, that's super endearing. And I could see the Swifties all doing the heart hands, like, oh, love you. So sweet. Oh, it's beautiful.
It's a cute little community.
It's a cult, honestly.
Community cult.
It's a fine line, but yeah, it really is.
And it's not little.
Yeah. Well, there you go. That's going to do it for your Rock Report. Thank you, Lady Rock. Uplifting Way FM. This is the Wally Show. And, from time to time you come across facts that you're like, I wish I didn't know that, actually. And you came across one, Betty Rock, that I was like, no.
So recently there was a kindergarten teacher in California that she got some viralness on social media. So she claims that she went to Trader Joe's and bought a carton of eggs, and then she tried to hatch chicks from them in her class. Turns out 3 of them hatched.
No.
That's
She
so
now
scary.
has 3 baby chickens.
This is why I do not eat eggs. This is why, this one example of why I don't eat eggs, because you just don't know.
What
It's not going to grow inside of you if you eat it.
Well, I know that, but it's still disgusting. I don't even know if the science is possible, but I don't
I'm
like
glad
it.
you asked that. So according to agricultural experts, they say that this is possible, and that's because some of the grocery stores are buying from poultry farms, and they have laying eggs that there's sometimes a rooster can get in. They don't really, keep keep ranging those things.
See?
And so if they're raised in pasture raised, they're free range chickens, then there is a chance that a family could start.
There you go.
A chicken family.
Yep. Like that. This is where being bougie backfires. Like honestly, like my free range chicken's name is Nick, and they're having lots of eggs, and we get these eggs and we name them all, and they're so great. But then if one of them hatches, like before you crack it,
because you want to buy those for like a meal, not for a pet.
Right. Exactly.
Oh.
Okay.
Yikes.
That's rough.
But it makes you think, like Wally's saying bougie. You know, a lot of people go to Whole Foods or Sprouts and they're like, I want to get, or they go to a farmer's market because they want to eat healthy. Or maybe they just want to go to the gym because they've been told by their doctor, you need to live a healthier lifestyle.
Being bougie costs you, man. It does. It costs you a lot of money.
Sometimes exercise can cost you. Sometimes eating healthy can cost you.
Okay. All right. Here we go. I'm not the bougiest person here
by a long shot.
And I take great pride in that. I've been to a Whole Foods twice in my life, and I walked right out. Okay, so I am far from bougie, and so I'm just curious, how has being bougie cost you, or someone you know? If you don't want to admit it, you could say it's somebody else. 855-33-WAY-FM. Like eating organic costs you a bunch of money. 855-33-WAY-FM. We'll take yours now. Rachel, when is a time that being bougie cost you money and it backfired?
Okay, well, I have a really funny Whole Foods story. Me and my boyfriend were trying to figure out what to do for dinner. We didn't know what, so we were like, you know what, we're just going to go to Whole Foods because they have like all those different areas that you can get food from.
Yeah.
And I should have known better than to let him loose on his own. But he goes to the thing where you just make a box of food. And he comes over, and he's like a little kindergartner almost, just like bouncing with his food. And he has a whole rotisserie chicken. And he's like, it was $5. And I look at it, I'm like, no, it was made at 5 o'clock. He goes, oh, never mind. So I put it back, but he still has this carton food. We get to the register, and it's mac and cheese. He filled this entire carton with the heaviest food possible. His carton of mac and cheese came out to $32.
No.
I'm telling you why that is, because that mac and cheese was probably made by whole grain noodles and vegan friendly cheese.
Oh, unbelievable.
Oh, yeah. I mean, when he showed me what he had, I knew it was going to be expensive, but just to see the look on his face, I'm like, you know what? It's going to be worth it. And the cashier made it even better because when my boyfriend went to go pick up his jaw and his food, once he realized the price, the cashier put his hand on the food and was like, remember, lift with your knees, not your back.
That's awesome.
Wow.
See, that's when bougie backfires.
It did, but it was hilarious at the same time.
Love it. Rachel, thanks for being on with us today.
Yeah, it was great. I actually just discovered y'all this morning, and It's been amazing.
That's crazy.
I love the music.
Well, cool. Thanks for checking us out and actually being part of the show today.
Thanks, y'all. Have a good day.
Uplifting Way FM. This is the Wally Show, and I know there are a lot of people that want to do like Whole Foods and what has become known as being bougie and free range eggs and eating organic and all that stuff. And if that's you, great. But there's a cost that comes with that sometimes.
There can be, yes. So I have a roommate who is vegan. She tries to eat vegan. And recently she was out with some friends and they ordered some Thai food. She gets her order, eats it, loves it. But she is the only one who ordered what she ordered because she's vegan, and the only one that ended up getting food poisoning. So it took her a good solid week to recoup.
Really?
Then I hadn't thought of this till just now, just this moment. Is it possible that they just wrote vegan on the box and just gave her whatever because it was a giant pain, it was a late order, and gave her whatever, and that's why she got sick, because her body wasn't used to it, and she actually ate like non-vegan stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it makes you think twice about being vegan because it makes you stand out, and you want to, like she was like, the other people got chicken wings and they're fine. And I just had a falafel.
Is she going to come back to our side, or is she going to?
Oh, no. She's still going to stick to her vegan ways.
Yeah, and I get that. Like, there's one chicken place that I go to that makes me sick 3 out of 5 times, and I still go there because it's so good. It's like, it's worth it.
It's not worth it for everyone else in your household.
No, but I know going into it, I'm going to pay for this in more ways than one. But, man, it's good. So I respect her conviction to stay in it, even if it cost her a little bit. So,
for sure.
There you go. Uplifting Way FM, this is The Wally Show, and you may have heard us talking about our prayer wall from time to time, or last week during our support drive talking about the prayer wall and the impact that it makes on people. And oh, by the way, speaking of impact, some people showed up big time throughout that entire week, and as in case you didn't hear, to give you the update, we ended early on the last day with 100% of the goal met. Woo! That is huge. I'm telling you, man, that doesn't happen often. It doesn't happen in this economy, and the fact that people chose to be that generous and show up is a big deal.
Well, and what was awesome, too, was seeing so many new people who were giving for the very first time, and they were able to find Way FM because of people who have given in the past. It was just awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty great. And we were talking about the prayer wall. Here was a prayer request from Costin. She said, I've had so many praying for me and getting notifications from the prayer wall over the last couple weeks, because that's how it works, is when you pray for somebody.
Yeah, when you go to wayfm.com and pray for somebody, you click that little box on the side and that says you've done that, and then they get a notification on their phone or through their email just letting them know that someone is thinking of them and praying for them.
And she says, I am so thankful. I go in for my mammogram and ultrasound this morning, and I ask for continued prayers for my anxiety, my fears, and for a clear mammogram. Thank you all so much. Like, the fact that she takes the time to write this before she goes into something that is definitely scary for her is pretty cool, because she's like, these people have been, that I don't know, are kind of on this journey with me, and she's seen the help that she gets from people, praying for her and the notifications that she gets, and then she's like, okay, we're in this together one more time. I need a little bit of extra today, and I love that. That's what the prayer wall is all about. You can be part of it by praying for people. You can be part of it by posting a prayer request. We just love that you do, and again, like Betty said, just text the word pray to 91979 and we can send you a link.
Well, that's the end, but it doesn't have to be. Check out our Aftercast. It's new stuff you didn't hear in the podcast. Be sure to rate us on iTunes, as well as connect with us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. Just search Wally Show. And be sure to join our exclusive Potty Facebook group. You can find the link in the description of this podcast. And thanks to Colorado Christian University Online and United Faith Mortgage for supporting what we do.